Move on to the 9th house, the house of sacred purpose and transformative fire. And then that is Aries is in your 9th house, and now Saturn enters this area of your life. And it applies to you if you're Leo rising, if Leo is your 1st house. So, and I just want to say that I have a little bit of a different way to see the houses, and it's not totally aligned with the classic astrology meaning of the individual houses, but I have received this new house system, or this house system is part of the star number system. And if you're curious to see what each of the houses meaning is, then you can have a free PDF, and you can download it by signing up for my newsletter, which is linked to that in the channel description. And if you're curious about the star number system and what that actually is, then I have made a video on that. But this is why I, in the 9th house in the star number system, I call it the house of sacred purpose and transformative fire. And this is where the personal mastery now meets universal mission, and it's associated with Mars and the energy and the number 9, and that means that it is representing drive, action, courage, purpose, directness, compassion, and then the energy of showing the way by being the example. And this house is about the fire and the drive, and you feel determined, and it's also the house where your purpose is residing. So it is about something that truly matters here. And so for Leo rising, Aries has been and always will be the natural tool for you in the 9th house. And so the fire to act on your purpose and the courage to live your truth visibly, that is natural for you here in the 9th house. And there you have this directness of someone who shows the way by being. And that is kind of how you are, and that's the kind of energy you carry here in your mission. Your purpose is about being active and brave, and now that is being given the structure and to let other follow, right? So it's kind of like a double activation that you have here naturally residing in this area. It's actually super cool, Leo, that you have the Aries tool, which is the number 9, in the 9th house, which is also number 9. So it is super clear. I would think if you're Leo rising, then you have this sense of purpose that is really strong. And if you haven't found it yet, then your purpose will come in and hit you like a sledgehammer one day, because you have Aries here in your 9th house, and naturally, and that is so cool. That is such a good synchronicity of energy there, and a very, very important place, right? Because your 9th house is about your purpose, and Aries is about having the drive and determination to focus on your purpose. So that's really amazing. Something that is just amazing for you, Leo. Just always amazing for you. And so what happens now is that Saturn comes in. Saturn is in this area of your life, and during this transit, that means that this arena, you could say the arena of purpose, and is now having an energy of structure, leadership, discipline, long-term growth, and time itself is kind of stepping into this arena of your life. And over the coming years, your sense of purpose will probably begin to crystallize and to have take on this long-term structural quality. So if you have been a little bit unaware of what is my purpose, what is it that I'm here to do, and you feel like, you'll probably feel like as a Leo rising that you have a really strong need for purpose in your life. And that can make it even harder to connect with your purpose, I could imagine. I don't know, I'm not a Leo rising, but I could imagine that you're somehow searching for your purpose and it has to click, right? And now that Saturn comes in, you will get some structure into this area. You will start being able to clear, so that you can focus, clear what is not relevant, what is not your purpose should step to the side, and you should focus in and put more of your attention and focus on what is your purpose. Because you can be passionate about many things, but now that you get some structure and some shape and some discipline and have a real plan with the help of Saturn here, now you can see that your mission is going to become real, and it's going to become a body of work, a legacy, a structure. You're going to have a structured pursuit rather than an inspired burst of trying to do something and then it fades away. Now it's going to be more like structured. You're in it for the long haul. You show up every day to do something that gives you passion, that where you find yourself having the drive to show up. So I'm thinking you're probably you might find yourself making some serious long-term commitments to yourself around your purpose, like, and formalize the path a little bit. So you can build some structures for yourself, which allows your mission to kind of take shape and scale and continue for the long haul. And so with this Aries tool that you actually have in this area of life naturally, you have this unstoppable drive to keep going, even when it's hard, and you get up again and you keep moving forward, right? But yeah, was that a Rocky quote? That's good. And then Saturn adds this architecture that turns it into a system, a discipline, and it gives you the patience also, because that can also be a little bit of the Aries energy. It kind of wants it to happen fast, but what Saturn brings is the patience to turn it into a mission, to turn it into something that you show up again and again, and that is really exciting and super valuable for you, I think. Now you will see your purpose start emerging, or if it's already there, start really taking shape. So Saturn in Aries is the number 98 according to the star number system, and 98 has within it the number 17, and that's because in numerology 9 plus 8 adds up to 17, and then 17 adds up to 8, so 7 plus 1 is 8. But that means that 17 is residing within, it's part of 98, and 17 is the energy of inspired creation, and that is about your dreams and vision, and that is brought into form through self-expression. So it's about taking the stage, it's about showing your inner dreams and visions to the world by expressing yourself and giving it freely. The 7 is about dreams and vision, and the number 1 is about self-expression and also giving freely and in abundance. So that for your 9th house, that means that your inspired vision, your vision of what your purpose should be, is now going to take a real structured form. And then you have the result energy of 8, is that when Saturn meets this Aries-driven purpose, which is what happens then is that it crystallizes something into being. And for you, that's your mission. And your mission is not just a feeling or something that you can't really grasp. It is going to become structural. It's going to become a body of work. It's going to be a path that others can actually follow. It's is you becoming a true leader of your own cause, whatever that is, and also that you're committing yourself to building something real. And that is that whatever it is, it takes lasting shape now. And then I have this affirmation that's also on the screen, and you can take a screenshot, but I'll just read it out loud. I welcome structure and long-term vision into my sacred purpose. I have always known how to live my truth and lead by being the example. Now I let my inner vision shape the structures that carry my mission forward. I commit, I show the way, and I feel a deep clarity and confidence, knowing my purpose is becoming real, lasting, and a beacon for others. That's it for you, Leo rising. And then I just want to have the last word here is that just to remind you about this architecture of Saturn in Aries, is that Saturn is of course the area of this long-term building, structure and leadership, while Aries is the tool to apply to that area. And that is the tool of being courageous and persistent in taking action and having some passion and drive. And so then when you apply this passion and drive and being courageous to this structure building and to your leadership, then what you end up with is crystallization and clarity and confidence. And so your dreams are then ready to take form that is lasting, and you have the courage to give them shape, and the clarity and confidence will meet you on the other side. So I hope that is helpful for you, and like and subscribe if you will, and don't if you don't, and then I will maybe see you again. Thank you. Bye. So welcome over the next many years from 2025 to 2028. Saturn is moving through Aries, and I am going to talk to you today about how this transit affects each of you in according to your rising sign. Depending on where Aries sits in your chart, it will have an influence on your energy that Saturn has now moved into this area of your chart. But first, I can say that I'm talking from the star number system, which is my own system, It's not really my own. It's a system that I have received during meditation over the last about 3 years. And it's kind of like a new way of interpreting astrology and numerology and so on. It's like a mix of the two. So let me take you through this transit using this system that I have received. So I won't take the credit for it, actually. That's probably too much. So between 2025 and 2028, Saturn moves through Aries in the... Oh, let me just do this so I can better see. So between 2025 and 2028, Saturn moves through Aries. And in the star number system, Saturn is the area of life that holds your structure, your leadership, ambition, consistency, discipline, and long-term growth. And also, of course, overall, it's also your relationship with time. So this is where you build things that lasts, where you commit for the long haul and where you become steady and dependable as a leader, so that and a leader that others can lean on. So this is Saturn, which is the number 8. And then Aries, I look at Aries as the tool that will be used in this area of life. So Aries as a tool carries the energy of the number 9, which is courage, determination, persistence, stamina, compassion, and unstoppable drive to show the way by doing. It is really truly an area of life where we have a lot of drive, but also where it's not by telling people what is right and what is wrong, but really showing by doing. And so Aries is a fire sign, you could say. So it is also about taking action and initiating. So it's brave and self-reliant and confident. And when you use Aries as a tool, you will then lead by example, and you will take action with purpose and on your purpose, and you will move forward with conviction. So bringing these two energies together in the star number system, that brings about the number 98. So if we then follow this numerological journey, then 9 plus 8 is 17. And 17 we reduce again, because we can say 1 plus 7 is 8. And so the resulting energy is 8. And that takes us back to the kind of the Saturn energy itself. And that is the thing about being in Aries, that it kind of returns its original energy to itself, but it actually goes through another energy in the process. So it adds another element. And so that return to the number 8 then is resulting in what we can say is crystallization. It's things taking shape, it's clarity, it's becoming tough in a new way, because you've gone through kind of like a crystal. It takes a lot of pressure for a crystal to become a beautiful crystal, and in the same way we become tough when we go through things. And it is also about showing the way, inspiring others. It's about feeling confident, determined, and also it is highly connected. The number 8 is highly connected to being successful as well. So there is this intermediate number 17, and that is what makes number 98 so interesting, because it's not just that you have the area of life, the number 8, and then with this way of working with that, which is the 9. No, there's another energy in between, which is 17, before you actually get to the result. And 17 has therefore its own meaning in this journey from 9 to 8 to 8. And so 17 is the energy of inspired creation. So it's about bringing your dreams and inner vision into form through bold expression, self-expression, you could say. The intermediate number 17 has its own meaning along this journey from 9 to 8 and 98 to 8. And 17 is the energy of inspired creation. It's basically about bringing your dreams and inner vision into form through bold self-expression. So when you act with courage on this work that is, you can say, the work that you're doing, which is where you're in it for the long haul in a way. When you act with courage on that work, then because 8 is about taking steady, taking consistent action. It's about consistency and keep moving on something. It's like compounding, if you've ever heard of that. And so that is just putting in the work day in and day out. But when you act on courage with that, but also have this element of you have to remember what is your dreams and what is your inner vision, at the same time as you have to also use your self-expression and truly put yourself into it, something that you're excited about, then you're kind of bringing together this stretch where your dreams and visions are taking visible form, and they do that through this brave and persistent creation. So from there you then end up with the number 8 again, and that is, as I mentioned before, it's this crystallization and clarity, and also inner confidence. The confidence that you gain from taking the steps and daring to really be brave, and also putting yourself out there. And it also, in this case, daring to do it through your own, through putting yourself out there. So this is a powerful combination. And Saturn is really the area for this long-term building. It's about structure and leadership, while Aries is the tool of being courageous and being also persistent in the action. It kind of have a similarity there with Saturn, right? There is a persistence and determination in both the number 8 and 9. And then the resulting energy is that when you then do this right, when you kind of do what the energy is asking you to do, then you kind of bravely commit to building something real and show up day after day with this discipline. And also at the same time, you remember that it has to resonate with your dreams and wishes, and you have to in some way self-express. Then you will end up with this deep clarity and confidence. So that is, you could say, it's even like this way of having earned satisfaction, knowing that your work is taking shape over time, right? So you slowly see the progress. And so in this transit, when Saturn is in Aries, then that is then impacting everybody, because everybody has Aries somewhere in their chart, and Saturn is the energy that is then moving through these areas of our lives and brings in this energy and a collaboration between the Aries tool and the area of Saturn. And so we will all feel this shift towards courageous, disciplined building, and also towards leadership that steps forward and leads by example and demonstrate what is possible through consistent, brave action. So over these next 3 years, many people will feel that growing urge to commit to some long-term project, and something that actually truly matters, something that is grounded in a personal dream perhaps, or a personal vision even. And so bring something that truly matters about, right? Get it into 3D reality, not just having it as a dream in the ether forever. Maybe it's something that has been considered for a long time, but that you haven't really been daring to take action on. And now here comes this Aries energy and says, you have to be courageous. Now go do it. And put yourself out there in a way, right? And so then in that way, you will enable your dream to take a real, tangible, lasting shape, right? That's really what's in the mix over these next 3 years. So it's super exciting. It is really an exciting period and super, super cool with Saturn in Aries. So we can really move forward and on our dreams and wishes, you could say. So the key message then is of Saturn in Aries is through this star number system, that you are willing to commit with courage, and whatever it is that you're committing to with courage will then crystallize and take shape and come into being. So that is a super big promise, and that is of course something that you have to kind of bring with you now and feel like, oh wow, this is actually an amazing power. So what do I really want to commit to and be bold about, and what do I really want to see crystallize? If you could choose something specific in your life that in 3 years from now, and by the time Saturn leaves Aries, that you can see that you have made this dream real, what dream would that be? And then find the courage within yourself to go for it. That is really the message here. So being bold is not just about having the spark and having this idea and a good intention and I'll do it tomorrow. No, it's actually about being bold enough to take action today, and being bold enough to take action every day, so it becomes a structure you put in place for yourself and thereby crystallize it. So be brave enough to start and persistent enough to keep going. That is really what is gonna make your dreams come true over the next 3 years, and depending on when you listen to this, over the years to come. And this is of course an energy you will have with you forever, because you've been through this energy, so you'll know how to do it, how to be persistent and keep going. Okay, and then you have to trust that when you lead through a consistent, courageous action, that you will build something that is real and lasting, and that in that way, that is the cool thing about Aries, is that when you really use this idea of Aries, like when you use the energy of the 9, which is Aries, then you actually you are showing the way. You do give others a permission slip to be just as cool as you. Okay, so so the formula is this. So Aries is 9 and Saturn is 8, and so that in the star number system, that is 98, which reduces to 17, which reduces to 8. And so the tool is the way you should act. If you bring out your toolbox, then this tool now is to be courageous, persistent, determined, and take action towards something that you're passionate about. And then in this area of life, you should do that in the area that is connected to your structure, your leadership, your discipline, long-term growth. And so when you do that, and also remember that in between, remember to put your dream into whatever it is you want to grow long-term. And then when you do that, then you will end up with something that is crystallized, it's clear, it's confident, it's real, it's tangible, and you are showing the way. All right, so in the coming sections, then we go through each of the houses, because it affects everybody a little bit differently depending on their rising sign. The rising sign, Aries, is always in your specific house. It doesn't change houses. Like let's say your Aries rising, then Aries is always going to be your first house. And so that's the tool you have available to maneuver with your first house, and then Pisces in your second house, for instance. So that is always the natural tool for that house setting, for your specific rising sign. But and remember that for that area of your life that we're going to go through now, then there's a fire and courage and directness in that arena of your life. So, and that is part of how you operate, or how you at least ought to operate, how you should operate. And so what is new, what is actually the only new thing for you now, is that the energy of Saturn is coming into this arena. And that means that suddenly this arena of your life is being presented with this Saturn energy, which is structure and discipline and long-term vision. But in the fact that it comes into the Aries part, it gives it lights up this energy that is different from when it goes into other areas, right? Saturn is not equal in all sign. It doesn't act in the same way in every sign it goes into, because it triggers something specific. And here, for instance, it triggers that you not only have the long-term vision of Saturn and the drive and passion and directness of Aries. No, the two combined gives this magical influence of 17, which is also about tapping into your dream and putting yourself out there, taking the stage a little bit, right? And so that is kind of what is going to be new in your specific area of your life in that way. So let's go through it. Let's start with Aries then. In the house